there so you can just see her format. Okay. You didn't bring my gavel up.
Oh, shoot.
I told you I wanted it. That's okay. Let me know when you're ready, Chris.
Oh, you're doing purple too, that's great.
Hmm?
You're doing purple too. That's great.
Oh, well, she's gonna be so mad. Her and her purple pens.
Go ahead. Or do I gotta say something?
No, you're good. I'm gonna go ahead and call this meeting to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'll move on to roll call. Chris?
Allworth. Absent. Coolick, present. Fabic. Here. Smell.
Here.
St. John. Yep. Long. Stahl.
Here.
Long. Miller.
Here.
Okay.
We'll move on to visitors' written requests. At this time, I've received none. Next, we'll move on to the minutes. Once everyone has had a chance to review the September minutes, I will need a motion to accept.
Make a motion to accept the minutes.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. We'll move on to the financial report, which Sharon would normally do, but she actually doesn't have this one this month anyway, because there's a change in how they're sending the bank statements from one bank to the next. And so she wasn't going to have one anyway, so we'll skip over financial report. She'll just give 2 months now. Next is bills to be paid, which should be here in our packets.
There's some.
That is the accounts payable here.
Let's see.
I think it's the accounts payable, I would assume. That's what it looks like. Once everyone has had a chance to go over the accounts payable here, I'll need a motion to accept.
Motion to accept. Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Wait, what was that for?
Pay the bills.
Pay the bills. Okay, next we'll move on to executive session. Does anyone have a need for an executive session? Okay. Next, we'll move on to the solicitor's report.
The only thing I have was I had updated the IPMC ordinance. I believe the last meeting, the vote was to include only chapters 1 through 3. I excluded the remaining chapters. You were able to do that pursuant to the code and the statute. I don't recall how, I wasn't here in September, I apologize. I think in August we discussed some of the changes I had proposed. The big one being the IPMC has a mechanism for this board or whoever you appoint to serve as a review and essentially assess fines and whatnot. I had modified that, and Chris, I believe you and I spoke about that because you have a magistrate, you have that procedure in place already, so there was really no reason to create an additional review panel, in my opinion. I think that concludes my report. I would say to advertise for the November meeting. That's it. Thank you.
Make a motion to accept the solicitor's report.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we'll move on to old business. First, we have international property maintenance. We are going to need to vote to re-advertise because we did not have it prepared for the advertisement in time to vote on it this month. So I will need a motion to advertise the international property maintenance codes with the change of chapters 1 through 3 being included.
Make a motion to advertise.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we'll move on to turn back. Ted's not here, so we'll actually circle back to that once. I'm assuming he's coming with Sharon. That would be my assumption. But we'll just skip over that one for now. specs for speed bumps on Banfield Road. I don't know.
I talked with Ted about that, so I think we could probably
Yeah,
just get through that.
give us a
now,
briefing,
so-
Jeremy.
And I just, Joe's been, here looking about this too, so. Basically, we just can't put in speed bumps without some type of, study from PennDOT. If not, we'd lose liquid fuel money. That's, everything's tied to money,
Yeah.
that's what we're finding out in life, so. So Ted reached out to the PennDOT, they're supposed to come down because they wanna sign that, some type of agreement we have on a road that we signed.
Yeah, we have a
Maintenance
winter
agreement.
maintenance agreement for
Um,
water sleep.
Somebody came down with COVID, said the guy can't come down right now. The next thing I asked Ted, I called him back, I said, well, is there something we can do with that? And I said, stop signs. Could we put like a stop sign halfway down just to like disrupt the flow? I mean, it's a, he said it, he said his understanding of this email was the same thing, that basically you can still need a study. Doesn't matter, right? I mean, does that sound, Chief, I mean, I don't know.
No,
You should be able to adopt an ordinance.
Yeah, we
so
have-
Is this a state road or?
no, this is a
No.
township road, so we should be able to just adopt an
Yeah,
ordinance.
we
For a
did
stop
this.
sign.
We did it
We
for
did this
a
on
three-way.
course that I've
Okay.
been.
Yeah, we did it for a three-way stop sign.
I thought, well, can we skip the study? Can we just put a stop sign in? That, for a couple reasons. Even if it doesn't slow them down, they're gonna slow down enough to roll through it, which is gonna make it easier for you to see infractions versus looking at like 100-foot lines, right? You don't have the vantage point to get that.
Especially if you put it
We could put it literally right in front of Joe's.
right after it.
I mean,
at
right
the
at,
intersection.
Yeah, I mean,
Orchard.
I mean, and that, you're about
Orchard.
about the middle of the
Lane,
road,
yeah.
right? Kind of down there,
Yeah.
pretty much. I mean, I think something like that would. It's just my opinion.
not my place to say, but I just recall that Leechburg tried that several years back on Lower Canal Street. And they were told, you cannot use a stop sign to control people's speed, and they had to take it down.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know that because it was in front of my niece.
Now, we could have a probable case though if we put it at Pear Orchard Lane
Correct.
because it's an intersection.
There's technically not a stop sign either way.
Okay.
Yeah, so if
And
we
that's
place
right after your place. That
Yeah,
right,
right,
and that's right
right.
next,
So
that's,
we could have a
We
reason.
could get away.
We can do it. We
yeah, because it's not being used as a speed control device, it's being used as a traffic control.
I think.
Yeah.
I mean, we could have one both ways, right? Coming out,
could-
Yeah,
coming
put
out.
three up.
We would have to do a three-way, but yeah.
I think that's our. If we can do it without paperwork, PennDOT paperwork, I say, do it.
I think, yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to have Tim prepare the ordinance for it.
Okay, so
So I'll have a memo and a potential ordinance for you for November.
I think that's a great solution to
I
the
would say
problem.
so, avoid any large, expensive
It gets us
PennDOT
out of doing
study.
studies.
No, if you prepare the ordinance for November, do we have to advertise this? Now we're
Yes.
talking December.
We're
We
talking
vote on
January
December,
before
we get
vote.
it in January.
Yep.
There's nothing else we can do that's any quicker.
You
This
can
guy's
put-
been here since mid.
I know.
Oh, it's gotten worse.
It hasn't gotten any better. We haven't done really anything to help this guy since
You can
mid-summer.
put them up, I just can't enforce it till the ordinance is.
Okay, so
Yeah.
why don't we? I mean, I'm okay with putting them up, and I mean, it's still the
Yeah,
the idea is
I'm
there.
sure
idea-
Ted has
It's
it all
still-
in
and
hand.
we're certainly not going to advertise that we can't do anything about it right away.
Well, then I'll bite the bullet here and I'll make the motion that we
Put a 3-way stop in.
put a three-way stop at Pear Orchard and Banfield Roads.
Second.
Seconded by Steve. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And Tim, if you could.
Just to cover my backside here a little bit, we all understand the legal shortcomings of what we're
Yes,
doing right now.
yes.
Okay. Thank
No
you.
enforcement.
And just so you understand,
That's
sir,
Oh, no, I
you gotta
got it.
advertise, it's a
I-
whole
It's-
procedure,
we're
so.
stuck
We'll
with
still
the
do that,
laws.
but we can
Yeah.
still.
But we can at least,
Yeah,
put them up and
I'm in. Let's do it.
he can't enforce anything until.
That's okay. Even if you sat down there and watched them.
Yeah.
They
At
still
least
don't.
they-
They still.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's just-
Hey.
let's not assume they blow through that stuff. All right.
Let's hope nobody's
The
watching.
downfall of that
Yeah,
big thing.
we don't get very many visitors. We don't get very many people watching our
If
show.
anybody catches on to that, that's where it's at.
Okay. So,
I know what happened.
past specs for speed bumps. We will move on to new business. ACATO convention. I don't know what Sharon has to say. This is the Armstrong County Association of Township Officers Convention. I don't know, is there a letter in here from them?
Didn't she need approval for people to go?
I was just saying, but.
That was last month. We had voted,
Okay.
I think it was last month, or was it the previous month? We voted to allow whoever wanted to go to the
Right.
convention. So I don't know why it's still on here, so while we wait for Sharon, we'll skip over that. We'll
At
move on to,
Bethel's meeting, she had them vote to send someone to it.
yeah, and we did that last
Did it
month,
already,
so.
I don't know what else would be.
Yeah, I don't know, but we'll just skip it and come back once she's here and can explain why she had it there. Next, we have budget workshops. So we do have a budget workshop scheduled for Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. this upcoming Wednesday. We should also then schedule next month's now. Or we could do a second one this month since we skipped over doing one in September, because normally we'd start in September. Whatever the board would like to do, we could do a second in October, or we can hold off and just do one in November.
So let's just do one in November.
Okay. Yeah, and if once we do this first one, if we find that it's a rough one,
We can make adjustments.
yeah. Because they're also general purpose meetings, so they're full for votes and everything else and scheduling.
So you just want to pick one for the 10th then, instead of Wednesday after
Wednesday the 10th?
the meeting, the same, kind of follow the same format?
Yeah, that's fine. Anyone have any issues with Wednesday, November 10th?
So,
Do we want to do 6:30 again?
sure.
So I need a motion to set a budget meeting for November on November 10th at 6:30 p.m.
Make a motion to set a budget meeting November 10th at 6:30 p.m.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Other new business.
Just real quick, looking back to September's meeting for minutes, we didn't do anything with that ACATO thing.
We didn't take any action on it.
We didn't, no, it didn't even, there's not even a mention in it from what I really quick saw, so that's why.
Yeah,
it's still on there.
Charles Stahl made a motion to approve attendance at the Armstrong County Association
There
of
you go.
Township Officers.
I was looking
About
for the
3/4
acronym.
way down that
Yeah, I
first
was
page.
looking for the acronym real quick.
Yeah, no, she spelled it all out in the minutes. Okay. But we'll just save that just in case. Any other new business from anyone? No, we'll move on to reports. Chris, whenever you're ready with the police report.
55 calls for service in the month of September.
Wow.
6 criminal arrests, 2 DUIs, 1 for aggravated assault, 3 for possession of controlled substance. Issued 15 citations. We're up to 85 ATV permits issued. And then the breakdowns are attached there.
Make a motion to accept the police report.
I'll second that.
Quite a few like
Oh, sorry.
That's
So
not
you
part
just-
But it's other stuff
Alright.
that would be separate motions anyway. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Got a letter from Mason Fontana, he's one of our part-time guys. He took active deployment, so he is resigning. In his letter, he talks about he'd love to retain his position after once his active orders are complete. His orders are through September 30th of 2024. I gave Charlie a copy of his resignation.
So we technically just have to, by law, we have to hold a spot for him while he's on active deployment. However, we can add other part-timers to fill his hours or details. Okay, so I'll make a motion, we accept Mason Fontana's resignation. Or, I mean, is this technically resignation?
It's technically a resignation, you'd have to reapply,
Okay,
because he's resigning, so you'd have to reapply.
okay, well, I'll make a motion, we accept his resignation.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
These are gonna be fun to type, I can see that already.
What else do you have under
I'll
police?
save my biggest for the end. But last meeting, you told me to get a quote for the printers. So replacing the printers, it's $231 a month. That is a lease, and that gets a pretty large one downstairs and another one up here, and then eliminates the others. I don't know Sharon's opinion on that, but if you didn't go with both of them and just went with the big one for downstairs, it's $160 a month, and that includes everything. Ink, toner, everything. And that's a lease.
That's at least, so it's full maintenance, everything.
Everything's at paper.
What do you?
Everything except paper.
All of our reports, permits, all like the building permits, the plans, and all those good things.
Is that like on this size of paper, or is that big?
No, it's on bigger. That one will print 8 by 11.
22 by 17, or, yeah, 11 by 17.
How much did you say you normally spend on ink? down there?
Inkward, so the pack is $168. So pretty much what you're paying a month for that big printer downstairs is what you pay for ink.
Okay, and they'll cover the ink then.
Yeah, that includes everything.
We're
So-
already paying that, you're saying.
Yeah, you pay,
We're paying that, like, in the amount of ink that we're purchasing.
Yeah.
It's comparable to,
what my lease payment would be.
Yeah.
And then any maintenance that we incur.
I was
Just
including
covered.
that.
No, I know, I'm saying,
Yeah.
right now,
Right
in
now,
addition
it's
to the
us.
168 we pay for ink, any maintenance that we incur,
How many
it
printers do
obviously
we
goes
have
on
now?
top of that.
How many printers do we have now?
3, 4?
So we got one from like 1927.
oh my gosh, I'm not that old, so not that old.
It sits down there that I can make like a copy of a page, and then it'll get stuck and you unjam it and then you start over again. And then we have like a normal desktop printer, and then the one behind you, and the one Sharon prints her checks in.
Why you have to print so much? I'm serious, like, why can't you email it, or why can't you do something like that?
So every building permit requires 3 sets of drones, so like I can't get past that.
They have to be big.
Yeah, there's 3 copies of everything, like I can't, there's no way around it.
Well, these are printer, copier, fax,
Yeah,
These are
everything's-
all in one.
How much do we pay now for printers altogether?
I don't know. I just know you pay money, I don't know what you pay for Sharon's.
You know that?
Well, actually, the things in this bill, $300 a year for that.
That.
Yeah.
We outright bought this printer probably 8 years ago or more, possibly. And my fax, which I'm highly attached to, was
Is
my
it so
first
high?
purchase in 1996. So-
Fax.
Yeah, that's,
Are these like ink
Set that
cartridges,
one.
or these like those powder cartridges?
The new or the old?
Like what you're,
It's like an old, it's ink, it's like a desk jet, like an HP that you buy for your house and what we have downstairs.
Yeah, like the tricolor cartridge you have. And mine's a laser printer, so my cartridges are big.
Yeah, we have like an ink printer, that's why ink costs so much.
can't we just narrow it down to one big printer and be
I mean,
done?
that one's massive.
Yeah,
I didn't print the picture.
you
That
guys
one's
can argue which it. if
What
it
would be
ends
the
up
cost of
downstairs
just
or
one big
upstairs.
printer?
161.
161.
But the-
The one issue is, I mean, of all days, you know, my printer's been giving me some issues with the line
streaks,
going down
yeah.
through. And I've replaced everything I can possibly replace in that printer, and I'm getting the streaks back again. The printer I bought at the same time I bought the old computer, we just got rid of, so that, we said that was what, 2014?
Yeah.
So,
So your printer's due for
We
replacement
do one
too.
printer though, right, for the whole building? We do that, it's just like
Would there,
everybody can print to the same
I mean,
Would
you
there
could,
be-
you just have to find a central place to put it.
right,
Yeah,
There's
you
hard
guys
with
can hash
upstairs.
that
There's
out.
one and two
Walk
there's
around.
one and two
Have
problems with
Have a
that.
hole before you just drop. the
Either-
basket down.
Right.
You need
I mean,
to
if-
bring it- bring it up.
If I need to print stuff and it's locked in the police station, I don't have access to it.
Sure.
If it's up here and Chris has someone downstairs, now he's leaving them downstairs to come up here to get print stuff, so it's like a catch-22.
Oh, there's gotta be a way around this.
Yeah, I mean, I can
Can we just
I
put
can
one
afford to walk
upstairs
up and
and
down the steps a couple times, so I'm not worried about it.
You got something big, heavy that you can chain the guy to come up and pick up?
Yeah,
copies?
there's
Okay.
a bunch.
Yeah.
But there's also, we have 2 different fax numbers. And he gets stuff that on his fax machine,
that you
I shouldn't see, no one else should
Yeah.
see.
stuff from the DA's office that you're not allowed to see.
So we just have to be locked somewhere. But however you look at it, either it's locked in there, and you give us access to
You don't
Sharon's
have to get
office,
rid of your
or you
fax.
lock it in ours and Sharon gets access to ours if you're gonna want.
Yeah,
It just has to be
fax
locked
machine
somewhere.
can
Yeah, can't you just keep your fax machine up here? Have a printer, you know, keep getting faxes on it? It's been working since 1996.
I mean, would we have to, the printer we put up here, connect with fax?
No,
I
it's,
think there's a way you could
it's
release
him faxes,
Fax
it's his
that.
faxes that are bigger.
Yeah, so it would just be running that phone line that's our fax to this printer that's up here, so.
Somewhere.
Not to mention, it's hard to, brand new that is, you could probably have 2 numbers, it's all digital now
I think
anyway.
ask-
The
yeah,
phone
I
line
just
doesn't
don't
come into
remember
this.
what he
I know, like, when I worked up at the county, we could have like 3 different.
Yeah,
faxes.
you
I
can have
could
a bunch
ask
of
him.
lines in
On
this.
one printer.
You probably have like one
Like
printer on the top shelf, one printer on the bottom shelf.
Put your like the police code in to release it.
I mean, if
Yeah,
you
you
want
show that
to,
it's
I mean,
in
we're
here.
having our budget meeting Wednesday,
Stuff like that.
discuss this Wednesday, if it's a general
Yeah.
purpose.
I mean,
Alright.
it's up to everyone else. I mean, we don't have to.
I mean, I'm
vote
okay
tonight.
with updating to one central
Yeah,
machine.
you don't, that
One
way you
new-
have one ink setup, one everything, instead of,
I mean, I'm okay
Three or
with
four
that.
different-
If technologically it'll work out for everybody, I think that's our best bet. Putting it in a central location and updating it, because it's not much, it's actually no cost difference to what we're already spending now to print stuff, so.
we can go to.
Why do you have to print building permits or?
Chris is really hanging on to this building permit thing.
No one does that for me.
So most of the time I get one copy and I need 3. So I make the extra copy and I give it to Brian. I make 2 other copies and I give it to Brian. So like when you make your copies, do you give the 3 copies or do you give 1?
I've always been required to put 3 out myself.
Leechburg has ignorant.
I'll just.
No
listen.
comment there.
I'll-
Just talk to that guy today.
2x4,
He
2x4
always
walls,
prints
2x6
for me,
roofs,
so-
yeah, kind of a little leeway there.
If you need anything printed, he'll print them for you.
So,
Are we voting on this or are we gonna?
well, I was about to ask you,
wait till the
Jeremy, what you said. Was that a motion or? You...
No, I was just making my opinion known, so if we're gonna vote on it, let's vote on it, if not, let's get it.
I'll need a motion to either vote on it or table, whichever way the board wants to go. Whoever gets to it first.
We want to just hit, what? I hate to table something because it just puts it off longer.
Puts it off, but it also is putting it off to our budget meeting where we can.
We'll just
See
table
the
it
money
till
in
Wednesday
too.
then.
Alright,
Okay.
Vote on it
I'll
Wednesday.
second
Is that
that.
motion by Steve, seconded by Jeremy?
If-
All those in favor?
Tax line.
Aye. Opposed?
That way we'll have that. by
Motion
Wednesday.
carries. We're still under police, so
Anything else for us, chief?
So I
You've
sent
got
that
2 more.
message to the board. So far this year, we've missed some pretty serious things. And I took the guidance that you guys offered the last couple months ago, and I've done that the best that I can. But the things that we've missed, I would like you guys to reconsider letting the department go to 20 hours a week, 20 hours a day, which would include 16 hours of part-time officers. For the rest of the year, be $4,200, which I have in my budget. So there's no additional cost out of what's already in my budget. You just have to look at where that would come from next year.
and then we'll do that over the next couple months at the budget meeting.
I don't want to give the hours that I'd be looking at for coverage, but I could send this around. I just don't at the bottom.
What's the current?
I have it in my department supplies. I have it in my short-term disability and my life insurance, which is now included in that
Health
insurance that you went with. So that money's in there. My supplies is in there. Ammo's in there. All those things I don't need to spend any more money in this year.
If you guys don't shoot anybody, we can get more hours out of you.
I bought it, and what's helping me, to be honest with you, why there's no money spent out of the ammo budget this year is that there's no ammo. So I've ordered it, but it won't be here till March of next year, so it'll come out of next year's budget. So it's money sitting there.
I'll order it, or what?
When we order it, it's just
They don't charge you till it ships.
yeah, they don't charge us till we get it.
What the heck is your order?
40-223. I'm sorry, 9-223.
Okay, I was gonna say,
We just switched at the beginning of the year.
yeah, 40, I just found out monthly over 40 stuff come obsolete.
Yeah.
It's been
That's the
obsolete.
FBI.
That's
Yeah.
been obsolete.
It's like,
Well, I'm saying
Like,
it's
it
obsolete.
I bought my Glock for like the top of the line cartridge factory, got it in the 9 and everything, but now it's like,
Big heavy takeaways now.
yeah, now the 9's.
Same ballistics, same velocities.
I don't need your office today.
For $300.
The door down.
I was surprised it came back in stock.
It's crazy. This is keep getting these.
So I'll need
What the notion, tell me again what you need. You need the motion to be
16 additional hours of part-time
add
coverage a week.
16 hours for the remainder of this year. Is that what we're saying?
Correct.
Okay. I'll make the motion that we add 16 hours of police coverage for the remainder of the year.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And I think you have one more thing for us.
Mason obviously resigned. Either way, whether you did that or you didn't do that with the hours, we needed somebody to fill in on checkpoints and stuff. So I called the people that we interviewed. They're not interested in part-time. The one gentleman that went out of the academy, he took part-time in Vandergrift in Washington Township. So interested in full-time without ever rise again, that Chad would leave. We got an application for a gentleman that used to work here prior to me. He was here in the early lead days, Joshua Wilford. We
Who was on
interviewed,
this board?
Charlie and I interviewed him this afternoon, went through those same process that we have to. Good guy, works at Allegheny Valley right now.
Familiar with the town.
Familiar, he already worked here. I think the board would consider hiring Josh Wilford as a part-time employee going on a 6-month probation period to replace Mason.
I'll make the motion, we do that.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Do you have anything else for us? Okay,
So
so with that. Real quick, Sharon, before I move on to zoning, we're gonna go backtrack to a couple things.
Okay.
So we're gonna go back to old business, turn back of Evergreen Road. And that's on you, Ted, so I don't know if you heard anything new since last month or.
There's nothing new, like I said, they just want us to either take the whole road, do a long-term winter agreement for that road, or, take more of it. And I mean, personally, I don't really wanna have to go back to maintaining that road in the winter time.
No, I mean, did they want us to take all of Novinger and everything
Well,
with it? Cause that's all part of 2060 or 2062, whatever state road it
Yeah, I
is.
mean, they said more of it was all, that it was sold the way it was said to me. Turn back more of it, and enter a long-term,
Winter maintenance.
yeah.
So they want us to take back more. Would be at least the top half.
Quadrants that road is in, but that's what, that's.
I mean,
CDB,
what
what
the-
they do. They take a road and put it into quadrants so that when they send a maintenance guy out, they say, 2062 quadrant 2 culvert or something. That's my guess. But- So I don't really have any new information on that. But that was what he said last time. So basically, you need to decide,
We don't want to take on any more road
not
besides
not
that
winter
small section.
maintenance.
And we don't want winter maintenance because that road's pretty nasty for it.
Is there any benefit?
I mean, so for the turn back, okay, so I'd have to meet with them, right? Maybe you weren't here for that meeting when I discussed that, but I got to meet with them. And then whatever work needs done, we could do it as like a contractor for the state. So we could do the work ourselves and then they would reimburse us. But we would have to decide collectively what needs done. So I would say, well, I want to see this and this and this fixed. And they would say yes or no, like we're not gonna pay you to do that, or we'll pay you to do that, or,
Even if they have final say, it just seems like more of a headache for all of us. You have to maintain it in the winter. Then if they say no, you still can't do anything about it.
Well, what worries me too is they're wanting you to, one, they want you to take on more if we're going to turn any back, and two, they're going to want you to do winter maintenance. Sounds like to all of it on top
Oh,
of
yeah,
taking
that's
back
what it would
some.
be. It would be the.
They
entire
want
road.
take back
It would be
and winter maintenance of all,
Yeah, it would
and
be,
that's a lot to take on, the winter maintenance of all. So they're really not interested in turning back unless we take on winter maintenance of everything.
Yeah.
So it's,
Yeah, they can argue against it.
doesn't seem worth it. I don't think the benefits outweigh the costs here. The cost of the winter, I mean, I know they pay us,
yeah, I mean. we would do-
contract us for winter maintenance,
Yeah.
but the amount of work that it would cause you and
Yeah, I mean,
there would be less focus on more important roads.
Well, it would
especially like
it
bus
would be-
routes and
it would
stuff.
be more, obviously, it would take longer. More material.
No, I mean, it's up to the board here. We would need a motion to remove it from the table, or
My motion would move it from the table.
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we're gonna move on to new business there. you could put the convention on there again. Is that the vote we made last month, or is there?
Well, I got the facts at Bethel, but I didn't get it here, so I couldn't put it in the meeting packet, but, they were originally going to have that, convention all day. Well, then they put out a letter that due to COVID, blah, 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 blah. Now they're only gonna have something in the evening in November. So it's being changed. I'll have to make a copy of it from what I got at Bethel so I can show you, because I don't remember exactly what the date was. But I wanted to put it on the agenda so that I could let you know that it's being changed.
And there's really no action you get on that, it's just.
No, it's just like a
It's being
notification
changed.
thing. Yeah.
So, once Sharon has that information, she'll let us know, and whoever wants to go can go. I think that's it then, so we'll jump back down into reports, we'll go to the zoning report.
Yeah.
He missed
so I
the-
got,
He missed the speed bump.
Can we bring,
Oh,
can
did
we
you
talk
back
about
up?
it later with them?
Yeah,
I'll
so,
tell you after.
I just asked.
do you wanna explain what?
I'll just film it.
No, let's talk
about it
about
now,
it.
just film it later.
After,
Okay, yeah, we'll fill you in what we decide on the speed bump instead. Let you know, it's
Okay.
basically no speed bumps, but
Okay.
we'll get into more details with you. Yeah, so on to zoning report.
Did I print it? Oh,
I mean,
looked
I
at
have
yours.
it here, you can look at mine.
Okay. This report covers September 14th through October 11th. There were 4 permits issued, 2 sheds, 1 logging, 1 demo, for a total permit fee of $947.
Oh my gosh, how is it
The logging,
logging
Well,
permit?
I was gonna say.
Because don't they have to go by
so many acres.
so many acres?
They're going 90 acres.
Wow, where's it at?
Off of Jack, here it is.
Another one off of Jack Road.
Yes. And they
There's not many
want,
trees left on Jack
I
Road.
know, they bonded the road too, so.
Okay, good to hear. Okay, I'll need a motion to accept the zoning report.
Make a motion to accept the zoning report.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we'll move on to the dog report.
The only dog report I have is, the Shenley Road Husky has been referred to the state dog warden for a nuisance, so. hopefully he takes care of that. The gentleman right next to the barefoot, that husky
Oh.
kills.
It's constantly.
Chills neighbors' animal
Livestock
Yeah,
regularly.
I've cited
my
and
rabbit.
cited, and they just pay the fine, so I referred it up to him to see if he can do something with the nuisance.
Yeah, I see that dog running around all the time up there.
And I'll need a motion to accept the dog report.
Make a motion to accept the dog report.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we'll move on to the road report. Ted?
We did some grading of 2A on Jack Road. We borrowed Bethel's tar buggy again and we sprayed a section of that, because of the dust control and complaint. We worked on the graded flood wall again, which I met with the DEP for the flood wall inspection. We did some cleanup from a heavy rainstorm, manual patching, we cleared some down trees. We started mowing the right of ways again. We worked on the office landscaping, we mowed grass in the office and garages. Did some equipment maintenance and some administrative.
Office landscaping looks great, by the way.
It looked better just pulling the bushes out.
Yeah.
Nothing fancy, but
Doesn't need to be.
at least we don't have to prune the rocks every year.
Okay, I'll need a motion to accept the road report.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we'll move on to communications. We have a letter here from Don Palmer of Manor Township. This is one of their board members out in Manor. It's call to action for EMS and that we don't have enough funding or people in EMS, and he was trying to make a coalition for Armstrong County governments for funding and taking care of EMS. This is a summary, no action needed there. No other communications. Now is the time for visitors' comments. Visitors have 3 minutes to speak. I ask that you state your name and address for the record if you choose to speak. Anyone? Sounds good. We'll move on to calendar additions. Sharon, we did schedule November's budget workshop for November 10th at 6:30. We did that up in new business. Any need for an executive session? If not, I'll need a motion for adjournment.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Meeting is adjourned.
What do you want? I'm in there.
I need one to stand there.